Day 2, we had an excellent day yesterday, and we got another 60 something miles to get to a town called Medina, and a northwest wind, so we're gonna have more wind in our face today, and it's a little crisper. It's like low 60s. Now we're have a downhill to get into the town and get back on a road westward. Whoa! That was a speedy descent. Yeah, straight.
Would you get down the hill, Scott?
Yeah, I had you flying.
What's that for? I owe you 20 bucks. You owe me 20 bucks for something.
Oh, sure, okay.
Don't you remember?
He gave me 20 bucks.
Where did I get it?
Thanks, Pops.
You loaned it to me a couple of days ago.
He gives me a $20 allowance a day.
What a great little town this is, huh?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
A detour.
It's day 2 of our 5-day and 300-mile crossing of the state of North Dakota. Steve and I spent the night at a hotel here in Valley City and are now working our way through the city looking to get back on more farm roads and continue westbound. We've chosen to continue on the slower but more peaceful and scenic back roads instead of riding on the more hectic Interstate 94 with its fast-paced and loud traffic. Unlike South Dakota's Interstate 90, North Dakota's Interstate 94 doesn't have a frontage road paralleling the freeway, making it easier to cycle across the state.
Look at that old thing.
Crazy. Railway Express Agency.
We make it out of Valley City after a short climb and enjoy semi-easy miles on paved roads until reaching the town of Berea. Northwest headwinds started acting up and all of a sudden we were facing our day's challenge. Thankfully, this 33rd Street we were on happened to be paved, unlike the majority of roads in the region of the state. It also offered us plenty to see, with more hopper grain trucks flying by us and combines working the soybean fields. A year ago, I was mostly unaware of what farming entailed, and now that I've ridden through multiple stretches of the Midwest and its farms, I find enormous gratitude to have had the chance to absorb some of the nature behind this most American of cultures.
Screaming out of the Northwest, I would say 20 to 25. And at our probably 2 o'clock, maybe even 1:30. Gorgeous day, crisp, blue skies, lots to see. There's a lot of harvesting of soybeans right now, and corn. So it's fun to watch these combines doing their duty for these farmers. It's a time where they're gathering their crops and reaping the reward of all that work. Can't imagine how enthusiastic they must be. That's what those trucks have in them, is the grain, corn and the beans. Here's some combines working up ahead. So windy. Right in the face. It's gonna be a struggle today. Steve's way ahead of me. He's powering through it.
Windy, but a beautiful day, man.
It's pretty windy.
I finally catch up to Steve at the town of Sanborn after 12 tough miles fighting the strengthening headwinds. We decide to start drafting behind each other to ease some of the strain and help in getting us moving forwards without burning out. This worked tremendously with a notable difference, but still the task was far from easy.
We're taking turns drafting. It's really, really windy.
Through 12 right there.
1883.
We ride past the small towns of Eccleston and Spiritwood and in due time reach the city of Jamestown after 39 miles, where we decide to stop for the night. The next town to the west of Jamestown, Medina, was still another 33 miles, and being late enough in the day as it was, there was no chance of getting there without riding another 5 or so hours and into the night. There was a dirt bike race in Jamestown, and it took lots of riding around to find a place to stay, but after several stops here and there, we gratefully found a local day's inn.
We made it to Jamestown, 40-mile day, straight up northwest wind, 20 to 30 is what's forecasted, but it was definitely blowing steady 25 and gusting sometimes where it just blows you backwards. We couldn't have gone any further. It was another 33 miles to Medina, it's called. This town where we were gonna go today, but we've just been stifled by the wind to a degree that it would have been like 10 o'clock at night and another 6 hours or 5 hours of riding to get there into that wind, and we're tired. It took a lot of effort, even though we were drafting behind each other all day. The wind's supposed to lay down some tomorrow, and we can just keep going towards Bismarck. We have 100 miles and change to get there. From there we go south, so there's a potential of having tailwinds going towards Pierre, another 200 miles down that way.
You ready to go, Steve?
It's rock and roll. Beautiful day, crystal clear. A little on the chilly side for a South Florida dude, but I'm gonna gut it out.
Are you cold? It's only 65.
No, it's not. It's got to be in the 50s. It's got to be in the high 50s. I think it's going to peak at 64.
With Jamestown behind us, we go in search of more farm roads north of the city, and just like that, we're once again in the open sky solitude of North Dakota and more hopper trucks. This day was by far the most challenging and memorable of our time in North Dakota. Our first of many hurdles came by mid-morning, where we met up with 3 dogs that somehow attached to Steve more than we would have wanted them to.
Hey buddy, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Get up here. What's up? What's up, mama? Come on. Come on. Get up here.
You guys are bad. Are you bad? You're so bad. You're so bad. Yes. Yeah.
Thing. He looks like he's ready to go take flight. And we rode 106 miles that day, and that dog followed us for, I think, for 28 miles, and he hadn't had a drop of water, and he would go in somebody's backyard and get some water, someone would come catch us, you know. We were trying to get away from it because there was semis going by. And he was like right down the middle of the street, was get over, you know. And he never got hit. He had a life on the road, that dog. Finally, I think we saved his life. There was somebody had a fenced-in yard, and I coaxed him inside and closed the fence.
Close the fence.
Yeah, because if not, he was going to die out there. So.
Which state was this?
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Going from Ponca City to Tulsa. Yeah. I'll never forget that dog though. If I'd had driving a vehicle, I'd have scooped that sucker out. He had to have a heart like that big. I thought you were gonna pee on it.
We're about 10 miles into the day, about 10:30, and the winds picked up, but not as bad as yesterday, so hopefully it'll stay at this speed for part of the day and no more. And Steve's up ahead of me with these dogs that won't let go of them. They're just riding away with them. Having a beautiful day. The temperatures are probably in the 50s in the morning, and now they're in the 60s. The skies are blue, high pressure, just gorgeous times that we're spending here. And we stop all the time talking, telling stories while we're riding. Memorable.
Eventually, the two blue heelers turned around and went back to their home after telling them to do so several times, but the pointer refused. We stopped a pickup truck to see about the driver taking him back to his house, but they told us to let him be and that he'd find his way back. But it seemed to us that he had been too many miles, so Steve decided to stop at a house and ask if they could help.
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Go home, go home, go home, go home. Hey, come here. Get over here. What are you doing? What are you doing, pup? Just stay right here. We're trying to figure it out. We're trying to figure it out. We're trying to figure it. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Just stay right there. It's all good. Hey, just stay right here. Stay right here. We're trying to figure out this dog issue. He came with us and he's been like 3 miles riding with us. No matter what we try to do, he won't go back. The other two dogs, I think they're healers, blue healers, they went back. But this guy didn't want to go back. I think he was thinking he was hunting. And now Steve I was trying to keep him here and those labs came out and whatever, you saw the interaction. But Steve's over there trying to figure out if we can get the dogs, the one dog's owners to come get him from this lady's house. I think this seems to be working.
Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Do you guys need to use the bathroom or anything?
No, we're good. Thank you so much.
Okay.
You just took a lot of weight off our shoulders there.
Absolutely.
What a cutie.
He looked so dejected. He was having the time of his life.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Is that a father son?
No,
No?
we're close.
What state are you from?
Florida.
Really?
I didn't come from Florida. He came from South Carolina.
Oh, shit. How far
I
did you
just
go?
met him in Fargo, and I'm riding for 3 years. He's going too close. Yeah. The Everglades is on the south. Makes up the southwest corner of Florida.
Is that good fishing there?
Great fishing.
Oh, really?
And
So
then
you're on the west side of Florida?
yes, sir.
Okay, that's the water's a lot calmer there, too.
For the most part, but where I fish, it's a huge estuary. There's lots of sheltered water, no matter how bad the weather is.
Oh, shit.
And then the Florida Keys, where he's from, you have to go down the East Coast and take what's called the Overseas Highway, and then there's a whole bunch of islands, and Key West is at the end.
How many runs of the hopper truck do you do a day?
Well, you get about 1 an hour if the combine's working good. Get it from where I beat into Cleveland and back, if you're lucky, about 1 an hour.
How
So what, eight loads a day you do?
Well, now we just got going. It closes at 7, maybe you'd get 6 or 7, you know, I just dumped one now.
And how many tons does the hopper hold?
Well, it's if you're loaded right, the whole truck weighs 80,000 with the grain.
80,000?
Pounds, yeah. So you don't want to get run over on the bike.
No.
Nice that he stopped.
Yeah. Quite a rig, huh?
Yeah. 80,000 pounds, right?
80,000 pounds, fully loaded with soybeans.
Insane, the amount of weight.
80,000 pounds.
I mean, if you think about it, a bean is a real dense mass.
So I have this song. You ever heard the song by any chance? 30,000 pounds of bananas? You've never heard the song? It's a great song. And the whole time we're riding, it's going on inside my head.
What is it?
It's just a song, but it just it's a kind of a folksy sort of a song, but it's about 30,000 pounds of bananas, and you have to listen to it to appreciate it, but it's pretty cool. The guy's name is, you ever heard of Harry Chapin?
No.
He's the one that, what is it? He's got a great album. I got the whole album on my phone, and I don't have many. I think I have one of 2 albums I've ever put on my phone, but they're all good, you know. It's about some guy hauling a load of bananas and losing control of his truck on a steep grade, and it doesn't go well for him. So it's cool, you know. I think sometimes when we're riding in this gravel on a steep grade, I go, 30,000 pounds of bananas. I'll play it for you.
We're 20 miles from when we started today, and the wind was kind of subdued a little bit in the morning, but now it picked up a lot, and it's still not as bad as yesterday, but it's blowing all probably around 18 or so, maybe 20, and not too bad. We got another 40 miles to go. Beautiful day, a lot of great people we've met, and of course the hounds there, the dogs, were really a highlight for the morning.
As we got closer to Medina, the route on my map started to become more questionable, with one route having no trespassing signs making us have to backtrack a short distance, and other ones showing possible closures due to what looked to be erosion. The thought of backtracking is the worst for me, so we keep on and find 36th Street taking us into Medina, where we stop to get some lunch and a well-deserved break before continuing on.
We're close to Medina is how it's pronounced, at about 32 miles of gravel riding into the wind, with probably an average wind of 18, but the latter 10 miles or 15, the latter half of the ride was definitely in the 20-mile range, and lots of hills. Believe it or not, North Dakota is offering lots of climbing, 850 feet of climbing to finish at Dawson. So we still have another 28 miles to go, but we're gonna take a break here in Medina, try to find something to eat and take it easy, because we've done really good timing, even though it's been difficult. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so we have like 28 miles, and easily we could do that in 4 hours.
I just got an orange.
All the time.
Want to go back to fishing?
And that he's practicing all the time. He goes out there multiple times a day, a week.
downhill on asphalt. Could this possibly be? Record this moment.
We're going downhill.
And so we find ourselves with another hurdle for the day, with a road on a map that has seemingly eroded enough to keep us from riding it. But after checking with the driver of an ATV, we decided to press on and see if it was possible.
Looks like we have a possible blockade. There's a road here that's submerged. This guy on the ATV said we could probably do it, but I might have to walk it because the sand's real soft. So we're gonna see what we can do.
Red blue.
The road ended up being good enough to get across this wetland, even though so sandy at times that we had to walk. Once on land, I started looking ahead, and the path on my map was showing a road that was once used, but not in a long while. We keep on, and thankfully there was enough of a road there to drop us into paved 37th Street, paralleling close to Interstate 94.
Hello.
By now we're both really tired and looking to finish the day, but unbeknownst to us, the last and most challenging hurdle of the day was still ahead.
Nice road.
What do you mean? You couldn't pedal through that?
Piece of cake, dude. You know where there's a volcano with a lava flow we can ride across, or something more interesting? No, I'm gonna run it over.
Don't run it over. It's been quite a day so far. We've done 42 miles. Have another 15 plus to go, maybe 16, and it's 5 o'clock and we started about 9, so we have 8 hours of riding with a probably half an hour lunch where we stopped at Medina, and it should be another, I would say, couple hours to go, so we'll be looking at a 10-hour day to cover 60 miles with a west wind in our face the whole time going west. Challenging for sure, but we've been playing this taking it easy routine and not battling the wind any more than we have to, and just maintaining output. So there's plenty of time left of the day.
Here's when I messed up royally and chose to continue on these questionable farm roads instead of getting on Interstate 94 to get to Dawson and finish the day. We cross over the freeway and ride into Crystal Springs and take the west turn on 38th Street. After a couple of miles on this difficult road with lots of sandy pockets that suddenly jolt the handlebars sideways, threatening a bad fall, we reach a dead end. After talking it through, both Steve and I decide to walk the bikes across the field to a high spot in hopes of finding the highway or another farm road close enough to press on. But after getting to this high spot on the field and not seeing a way out, I decided on flying my drone and saw that we were not on the right track. So Steve and I licked our wounds and decided to turn back and get on the freeway.
Well, we hit a roadblock beyond roadblocks.
Yeah.
I clearly picked the wrong route. We're in the middle of a field, like we started walking trying to get to the highway, but no dice. So we're gonna backtrack and get back on the road. Somehow my map, or the map itself, just told us of a road that dead ended, and we chose to go down over the fields, and it's just too far to, I just flew the drone, no way. So we got a 30-minute backtrack through farmland here to get back on the trail. All right, we made it back to where we detour and try to cross over that way. All we gotta do is backtrack down this dirt road and get back to the highway. We just rode about 12 miles on the interstate. Smooth riding, smooth pavement, no wind. Feels like the bikes are just riding on their own, and we're getting in at dark. But thankfully getting this gorgeous sunset in front of us. And we see the exit ahead, 1 more mile. And we can find this place to stay tonight. This is like the day that will not end. But overall, phenomenal experience and adventure that we'll never forget. It's been a very challenging day, to say the least.